What's up, guys? Welcome back to a college basketball video. First things first, I want to apologize. I have not been active really with this stuff in like 2 months. I don't know what happened, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. I think doing it a lot last year, I think it caused me to eventually burn out with it, I guess. I don't know. Of course, the COVID problems earlier in the season also didn't help either, and this is probably going to be the only bracketology video I do from basically now until the tournament until I do my tournament predictions video, which I will be doing that come the week of March 14th. Also, stay tuned because I will be doing another series of conference tournament picks videos. Yes, those are coming back this year, and I'll discuss more in detail on that tomorrow, plus a very special announcement for a video as well. So you'll see that tomorrow for the second, but here tonight, though, you will be rewarded with a bracketology update, the first one of March as well. Wow. Quickly want to mention, too, this past Saturday, a first in college basketball history. The most amount of top 10 teams lost in one day. That would be 7 of them. That was Gonzaga, Arizona, Auburn, Purdue, Kansas, Kentucky, and Texas Tech. Yeah, quite wild. And Illinois also lost earlier in the league last week, so technically 80% of the top 10 lost last week. So, again, though, I use ESPN Bracketology. I use Joe Lunardi's ESPN one. I do not like the CBS one. And Mike DeCourcy has a Fox one. I don't care for it too much either, I guess, a little bit, but here we go. Bracket Watch, top overall seed is Gonzaga. Although, I will say, too, at this point, I'm practically just about locked in with who I kind of trust more and who I don't trust, but there might be some slight changes with it. But this time around, I'm trying to stick with it because last year I pulled back on some of my picks basically on what I was going to do last year, and I ended up those original thoughts ended up being right. So I want to stick to my original thoughts this time. Let me give a computer charge real quick. I'll keep talking, but basically, yeah, Gonzaga, who lost their regular season finale against St. Mary's. Loyola Chicago, first team out. Loyola has struggled lately. They just lost to Northern Iowa. And I'm not big on Northern Iowa. They haven't looked tremendous this year. Last team in is Rutgers. Rutgers has looked better, but they did lose their last couple of games. They do have a good game coming up at IU tomorrow. So, on the bubble teams, last four byes, Creighton, San Francisco, Wake Forest, and Michigan. Creighton lost Ryan Nembhard. I didn't even know what to think of Creighton anyway. They were real up and down this year, but it seemed like they were starting to trend towards a better direction, but losing Nembhard is going to kill Creighton in the end. San Francisco, I like their offense, but that's really about it. I'm not really big on San Francisco. Some people are. I'm not one of them really, but we'll see what they can do. Wake Forest, I'm losing more faith in Wake Forest, actually. I liked them better a few weeks ago, but I don't know, man. I'm not sure what to think of them at this point. Michigan, they just lost to Illinois, and I think they play tomorrow, if I recall correctly. I'm not sure, but yeah, pretty tough go, though, for Michigan as of late. Of course, Juwan Howard suspended because of the brawl that ensued basically with Michigan and Wisconsin. Last four in teams, Memphis. It's Memphis versus Indiana, then San Diego State versus Rutgers. Memphis, as of late, has played better. I'd watch Memphis on this tournament. They could spoil some brackets. They got some versatile players. San Diego State, great defense, terrible offense, but they just knocked off Wyoming. Wyoming's been a little weird lately. Indiana, they don't know how to stop blowing leads. That's all I'm going to say about them. And Rutgers, talked about them. Loyola Chicago in the first four out, along with BYU, Oregon, SMU. I think SMU should be above all three of them. BYU shouldn't even be as close to making the tournament. BYU's overrated. They have had some bad losses this year. They don't have really many good wins. Their only two real good wins are really against frickin' San Diego State and Oregon. They beat a decent West Coast Conference team, but next four out, Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech is 8-1 in their last 9, so I watch for them. A lot of those teams, though, not so good in the ACC. They did knock off Miami, though, recently, too, but Florida, St. Bonaventure, Dayton did just lose to LaSalle. Not good. Of course, everyone talk about yeah, it's kind of weird. The first 4 games are in Dayton, too, so. To the bracket, we do have a new number 1 seed. It's Baylor. They actually picked up a win over Kansas after being down double digits early. The 2 seeds are Purdue, Duke, Kentucky, and now Auburn. Auburn lost to Tennessee. Arkansas up to 5. Northern Iowa to 13. Ohio State, Wake Forest trending down. Same with Miami and Creighton. North Carolina trending up a little bit. Iowa surprisingly trending down a little bit, but I mean, it is what it is. St. Mary's up to a 6 seed now. That's the highest I've seen them, I think, ever in my time watching college basketball. So, enough babbling. Let's get to the picks. All right, Gonzaga versus the winner of Alcorn State, New Orleans. Who gives a damn? Who's going to win the game? Gonzaga will win. I will say, though, I don't know if Gonzaga has a deep run in them this year, and I'll talk a little bit more on Gonzaga, of course, tomorrow on the West Coast Conference tournament video. That will be the first one, again, that I predict of several. 8 Colorado State, 9 Xavier. Xavier is on a downward spiral. I don't know what's happening to this team. I think Colorado State could win. I think, Colorado State's got, David Roddy is really the main reason, I think, but Isaiah Stevens really pulls it off too with this team. Xavier's got a decent team, but man, they look worse and worse as we get closer to the tournament. 5 Houston, 12 South Dakota State. I have an upset here. I like South Dakota State, man. They shoot the 3 very well, and Houston has struggled lately. As a matter of fact, they're only up by 4 at the half against Cincinnati. I am keeping an eye on some scores, and I'll mention some of these teams as we go throughout with today's results. 4 UCLA versus 13 Toledo. I ended up forgetting Johnny Juzang's hurt, but even with him in the lineup still, UCLA's had struggles this year. I think Toledo could upset UCLA, but I think UCLA will be fine in that one. I think their defense alone wins there overall, but 6 LSU versus 11 Michigan. I think some people are starting to really fall asleep on LSU, and I can understand why. It's because they're a team that doesn't really produce a lot of offensive plays, but I wouldn't fall asleep on LSU. I really think this team could make a run this tournament. They steal the ball on average 11 times a game. 11 steals a game. That is absolutely crazy. If LSU can play some formidable offense along with their historic defense, they do have a historic defense ongoing at this time, LSU might be very dangerous. And I did kind of write them off at one point, but then I forgot that I didn't. I found out at that point too, Xavier Pinson had been out. Pinson in the lineup is important. So LSU could be a team that I could see possibly a low seed that makes the Final Four low-key. I am not going to lie. Michigan, this is not, I don't know, man. It depends on what Michigan does. Michigan could definitely be LSU. Michigan's supporting cast is getting better. Caleb Houston's really starting to develop too. Got to keep an eye on that. Texas Tech over New Mexico State. Listen, Texas Tech, I know they've struggled a little bit, but I still believe in this team. I saw a comment too on Facebook. It was, someone said Texas Tech is so inconsistent. I don't know what planet you're on, dude. No, they're not inconsistent. They've actually been playing pretty well this year. Texas Tech does just about everything right. I'm still behind this team. I know they lost to TCU. I mean, they struggled against Kansas State, but hey, it is what it is. 7 Marquette, 10 San Francisco. This is kind of a weird game to me because I don't truly believe in Marquette. They have some talent. They got Darryl Morsell. But I can't not get behind Marquette. I think a lot of it stems from Shaka Smart and his unsuccessful stretch of the NCAA tournament over the last several years. I will take Marquette, but San Francisco could win. I don't know. That's an odd game. And I got Purdue over Montana State. Purdue, I don't know what to think of Purdue anymore. They lost to Michigan State. They're losing by 5 at the half at Wisconsin. Now, of course, Wisconsin is a tough place to play at, but I'm telling you, if Purdue gets into a defensive battle in this tournament, I think they're pretty much finished because they don't want to get in that matchup. I mean, they were like 1-9 from the 3 against Michigan State and 17 turnovers. That is very uncharacteristical of Purdue, and they don't have great defense. 1 Gonzaga, 8 Colorado State. I think Colorado State could push Gonzaga, but I don't think they're going to have enough to beat Gonzaga. I just don't think Colorado State has enough to throw at Gonzaga. UCLA, South Dakota State. This is a dangerous game for UCLA. If South Dakota State starts getting rolling with that 3, they could end up beating UCLA, but Juzang, I think UCLA could still do it. I don't know, man. That's hard to say, which sets up a rematch from earlier this season and the Final Four game from last year, which probably might be the best game I've ever seen in college basketball, arguably. Could have topped Villanova UNC from 2016, the national championship that year. LSU, Texas Tech. Now, let's talk about Texas Tech's great. I wouldn't want to face LSU. This is a matchup Texas Tech may not want because Texas Tech and LSU are pretty similar, in my opinion. No dominant scorer, really, on that team. LSU's main scorer is Terry Eason, but Xavier Pinson has had his fair share. Darius Days gets his fair share. LSU could be one of the few teams, in my opinion. Well, there could be several teams that beat Texas Tech, but LSU, I think, has one of the better chances of beating Texas Tech. But for now, I will go Texas Tech. If LSU is in another region, I would actually pick LSU in the upset because I don't know, man. I'm telling you, I really don't want to push them over. Marquette could beat Purdue, but again, I don't trust Shaka Smart, so we're gonna go Purdue by default there. And I'm reluctantly taking Gonzaga to the Elite Eight. I personally don't know if I can get this far this year, but the thing is, too, when the pace isn't in their favor, they seem to just get thrown off. I've seen this happen against... Well, with Alabama, though, Gonzaga does score a lot of points, but Alabama, what they did was they pressed out Gonzaga's size. They drew fouls. There's... St. Mary's really opening up the field of play of how to beat Gonzaga. And UCLA, if they're not healthy, they can definitely lose in the first round. I don't see UCLA making a deep run either, man. I think UCLA was so... They just were on a mission last year. This year, I'm just not seeing it. And yeah, I'm taking Texas Tech over Purdue. I think Texas Tech wins this game 9 times out of 10. I really just don't see... Like, Purdue... Their defense is terrible, man. And then their offense can get stalled out. I've seen this has happened a little bit more. I want to say a little bit more. It's happened at times. And a rematch from December, I'm going Texas Tech. Texas Tech had Gonzaga there in the first half of that game, but Gonzaga ran away from it. I think Texas Tech gets them back. I do want to mention, too, I've been paying attention to these bracketologies, and I've been having in my head Gonzaga, Texas Tech, and quite a few of them over the last few, I should say. Down to the East region, who is going to face Texas Tech? 1 Kansas, 16 Cleveland State. Kansas is losing to TCU as we speak. 30 seconds left. TCU is going to win that game. Wow. Why is it that Kansas cannot stay consistent? You know, it's almost like the same thing. We're going back to this last year. Kansas last year was befuddling at times, and this year they've been befuddling at times. You know what? I want to look up some stats real quick in this game. I want to see what we got going on here. Kansas, 35 rebounds. That's not bad. They've been shooting the 3 well. TCU, 46 rebounds. 46 rebounds. How in the hell do you let TCU out-rebound you like that? I don't know how many rebounds a game TCU averages, but TCU only 20% from the 3. Man, Kansas, what are you guys doing? We'll look at the box score real quick. David McCormick, 8 rebounds, 11 points. A little bit better than what he's been doing. McCormick has struggled this year. Agbaji, 13 points. My goodness, man. Like, Kansas has the talent to go to the Final Four, but my God, and every time I watch them, they're always struggling. What in the world? I don't understand anymore. 8 Seton Hall, 9 Wyoming. As of late, I have not been liking Wyoming. I do like some of their talent, but I like Seton Hall. They have been... Seton Hall and Wyoming both could make a sneaky run, but right now I've been liking Seton Hall better. They do not have Bryce Aiken back, as I last checked. So Seton Hall not 100% completely in terms of health. 5 Arkansas, 12 North Texas. If North Texas was facing anybody else, I would take them immediately. But Arkansas is the wrong team to face. Arkansas is a very, here's the thing. They're among the best teams to game plan. You can tell because they're matching everybody, no matter what. Auburn, Kentucky, Tennessee, they're just matching these guys up well. That just goes to show me their game plan is elite. So, Arkansas, in my opinion, one of only a couple teams, in my opinion, that can redo a deep run. I don't see many teams doing it this year. 4 Illinois over 13 Northern Iowa. I think Illinois will kill Northern Iowa. Illinois, if they play the offense they did against Michigan, they'll do just fine in this tournament, but they almost let Michigan come back. I don't know, man. Illinois is like one of those teams where you're just like, do you even trust them? Oh, speaking of another Big Ten team, Ohio State. Why did I ever have faith in this team? I'm going Wake Forest by default, considering Ohio State just lost to Nebraska of all damn teams. Come on, dude. And Wake Forest has struggled lately a little bit, but oh my god, at least Wake Forest can put up points. Wake Forest is going to wake up and knock Ohio State out. No pun intended. Ohio State can't wake up. They're so damn asleep on offense. It's the EJ Liddell show, that's it. Oh, man. I mean, Malachi Brand stepped up lately, but man, it seems like it's just not enough. 3 Villanova, 14 Towson. Villanova just got the season series sweep on Providence. Trust Villanova a lot in the tournament usually. They're a very well-coached team in the tournament. 7 Michigan State, 10 Miami. I'm not big on Miami. I think they're a little overrated. I'm going Michigan State, although I'm not personally liking Michigan State either as of late. That win against Purdue, though, I mean, that builds our confidence. I mean, in my opinion, though, Michigan State has not peaked yet. You thought they peaked earlier this year. I still think they don't, or they have not, in my opinion. We'll see what happens. Auburn, I think, could lose in the first round. They're just... Come on, man. Their guard play has sucked lately. Jabari Smith might be a top pick. Are they going to care enough? Who knows? I don't know. And Bruce Pearl, I mean, has been in trouble as of course, was in trouble over last year at times. Auburn is about to combust. Auburn seems like a team that's going to combust in a couple weeks. They're going to self-destruct. There are some people who think this team's Final Four material. I think that is literal bullshit. Pardon my language, but seriously, it's true. 1 Kansas State, Seton Hall. Seton Hall could win this game. Seton Hall is a in-your-face team. Given the fact that they're not completely healthy, I will take Kansas. I hate to do this, but I'm taking Arkansas over Illinois. And the reason being is Arkansas, the way they can match up. Kofi Coper will be hard to stop, but man, I've seen times where, man, he only does so much and he can struggle. And I like for it to be where they pass on the inside to him and then they kind of move around the outside. He could bounce it back on the outside. I don't know. If Illinois was in a different read, I think Illinois has the potential to get to the Final Four. Excuse me, pardon me, but I don't know though, man. Do I want to take? Illinois does have a good defense too. I don't know, man. I'm gonna take Arkansas, dude. I got Villanova over Wake Forest. I think Wake Forest could maybe come close, but yeah, you know what? I'm going Michigan State over Auburn. Telling you, man. Auburn's a team that's about ready to self-destruct. I don't care for them, and neither should you. I never bought this team this year. If there's one thing you need to know about my opinion on Auburn, I have not bought them this year. at all, even when they were like 20-1 or whatever. And I'm going Arkansas over Kansas. That's not recency bias. I just like Arkansas overall as a team, and Kansas is not collectively there at times. Villanova, Michigan State. I have to go Villanova. I just don't think Michigan State. I think Michigan State at the furthest can go to Elite Eight as of right now. At the furthest. Sweet 16 seems more manageable in my opinion, but one of our problems is they don't have a main scorer. It's kind of a struggle with that offensively at times. Arkansas, Villanova. I think Arkansas eventually runs out of gas. What in the world? They run out of gas eventually. So I got Villanova versus Texas Tech in the Final Four, which would be a forgotten about Elite Eight matchup. What in the world? Why are you doing this, Excel? God, good God. Which was set up a long forgotten Elite Eight matchup from 2018. I say long forgotten because it feels like forever ago. All right, South region. We got one Baylor over 16 Long Beach State. Baylor beat Kansas. They are injured. Even if they were not injured, I still don't think they're going far in this very, very far in this tournament. So there's 2 cents on me with that. 8 Notre Dame, 9 Murray State. Notre Dame plays some stiff defense. Murray State's been playing really, really good, but they almost lost to, I think it was Southern Missouri or Southeast Missouri. I'll take Murray State, I guess. I kind of almost fell asleep there against after their senior night game, which they bombed Belmont. I got another upset here. Alabama's way too hot and cold. I mean, they could beat anybody, they could lose anybody. I don't like teams that are hot and cold. 4 UConn, 13 Vermont. Vermont, not pushover, but I like UConn here. UConn's got a great... they're starting to really get the gears turning even more. Like RJ Cole playing well. The supporting cast of Sonogo's playing well. I've talked about it before. If UConn's all on the same page, they are a potential Final Four team, actually. St. Mary's versus the winner of Memphis and IU. I think Memphis beats IU, but St. Mary's, I think, is due to win a game or two in this tournament. I got 3 Tennessee over 14 Princeton. Now, Tennessee at home this year has been very hard to beat on the road. I think they have struggled on the road this year. I want to check real quick that, as a matter of fact. Tennessee on the road is 6-5. That's concerning. They're 15-0 at home. There are 3 SEC teams undefeated at home. It's Auburn, Kentucky, Tennessee. Okay. Yeah, we'll see what happens though. Iowa, Davidson. This is going to be interesting to say. I like this Iowa team better than last year's. I mean, like, seriously, the offensive efficiency I think is way better. Keegan Murray, both McCaffrey brothers, Bohannon, you name it, they're doing it. Chris Murray. Brackett kind of getting involved with some of the rebounds and stuff. Iowa could make a run. I feel like they're going to be honest. I don't know. We'll see. They're going to be a tough out for teams that can't match their pace. And Duke could be one of Duke could have problems against Iowa. We'll talk more on that here in a minute. I got them over along with Duke. Duke just destroyed Syracuse, by the way, but Syracuse has a terrible defense, so I'm not going to put too much stock into that one. Baylor, Murray State. I'm real tempted to pick this upset. You know what? I'm going to do it. I really think Baylor is not going to go anywhere in this tournament. And some of you will probably go in the comments and call me a dumbass. I don't care. If you think Baylor is a Final Four team this year, I don't know what to tell you because they're not doing it. Defending champions have, historically, they've gone out pretty early. It's really rare to go back or make a deep run or whatever. So, I will take UConn. I think, by the way, Rutgers, I think, will beat San Diego State, but I think UConn will beat Rutgers, although Rutgers is a pretty physical team. They're downright dirty. St. Mary's and Tennessee. Oh, gosh. I'll take Tennessee. I've liked them more. I guess. I don't know. I can't really say that. St. Mary's is sneaky good, man. And I don't think Duke's going to go anywhere either this year. I don't know, man. They're young. I don't know. Their defense is not really. Their defense, as of late, has been kind of iffy. And Iowa, they move, man. Those boys move. I got UConn over Murray State. And Tennessee and Iowa. I'm gonna go Tennessee. Tennessee, UConn. I did not expect this. I didn't. I really did not expect this. Well, we'll take UConn or Tennessee. Mix it up. Two Big East teams in the Final Four. I doubt that's going to happen. We'll see. I just think first off, I think UConn's guards, I don't know, that's almost an even matchup right there. I think UConn would just be a little bit more, I don't know. I mean, we've already destroyed this one enough. I've already destroyed this one enough, I should say. Arizona over the playing game. 8 Boise State, 9 TCU. Although TCU just beat Kansas, I just don't. I don't know, man. Oh, screw it. We'll go TCU. It don't matter. I mean, Texas and Iona. I got another 12 seed upset. I'm done with Texas. I really am. For Providence. Providence is one of those teams that, do I trust them enough? We'll find out. USC, I kind of got to pick them by default, although I'm not really big on USC. I got Wisconsin over Texas State. Iowa State, North Carolina. I'm going North Carolina. Iowa State's really not all that to me. I think they should be lower than a 7. Going Kentucky over Jacksonville State. I got 1 Arizona over 9 TCU. Well, that could be closer than some people think. I'll go Providence over Iona. I got Wisconsin over USC. Although Wisconsin, if Johnny Davis starts messing up, could be the end. It won't take a whole lot to beat Wisconsin, but it'll be hard to stop Johnny Davis. That's the thing, though. It's kind of a twofer thing. Wisconsin now up only by 1 with 16 left in the second half. Kentucky, North Carolina. These two met. Kentucky destroyed them. I think Kentucky wins again, but I think it's a bit closer. Arizona and Providence. I will go Arizona. Now, one of my concerns with Arizona is they haven't had a whole lot of tough opponents this year. So that could be concerning, but I really love their size. They're one of the biggest teams in the country. They got like 3 guys who are like 6'11 plus. And Matherin's like 6'7. Kreesa's like 6'5, 6'6. Pretty tall team. Kentucky, Wisconsin. I'm going Kentucky. I still like Kentucky, man. And I'm actually going to take Kentucky to the Final Four. I mean, some might say they're not really all that, and I can understand that. There's some concerns with Kentucky. It's understandable. And I'm not blaming their health for their loss against Arkansas. It's just Arkansas ran off to a lead real quick, and Kentucky they just struggled. They freaked out. They tried to shoot a bunch. They tried to really, they only shot 8 threes in the first half, but they didn't make a single one. I think they were just really trying to get something going. Arkansas kind of got them there. All right. In the national pardon me. Final Four, Texas Tech and Villanova. I'm going Texas Tech. I really think they can get back to the national championship. In Kentucky, UConn. Listen, as much as I like UConn, I'm going Kentucky because Sheboy, I think, is going to be one of the biggest difference makers. Texas Tech and Kentucky in national championship. I might as well roll with the Red Raiders of Texas Tech. But that's just my bracketology, though, you guys. I mean, the region, for instance, with UConn, I may not even have UConn in the Final Four. I doubt UConn's going to make the Final Four, but we'll see. It depends. You never know. You never know. Never say never. But there's also a real good. There's also a realistic chance that no one seed makes the Final Four. I feel like that could happen this year, but we'll see. No real dominant team. No real clear cut favorite. That's what we love about the sport. Thank you guys though for watching. Stay tuned for the conference tournament picks video series that will start tomorrow with the WCC. Take care. See you then.